signs and decorations on the wall behind the party. Well, now the party's going overhead. Crepe paper streamers and balloons are about to welcome a new party friend, the Polish chandelier. It's an easy accessory to make. Sarah Freeman has been tackling this idea for us. It's great to see you. Great to have you.
Thank you. Good to be back.
I don't even know what it is, but I already love it. So tell us about this Polish chandelier idea.
So I cannot take any credit for this because this actually comes from Poland. So I guess in the winter when it would get kind of cold in Poland, the people would come inside. They couldn't do as much work outside. So they'd come inside and do like arts and crafts. And these Polish chandeliers, which they call pająkis, and I know anyone who speaks Polish is probably cringing.
Job. I don't speak
I've been practicing, but I don't know.
All I can do is stand back and applaud because that sounded really legit to me.
Thank you. I've worked on that, but it's probably very wrong. But they would make these pająkis, and they actually were like a Christmas decoration. And they would use straw and twigs and paper to make these chandeliers and would decorate for the holidays.
These are interesting. That's the word that keeps coming to my mind. They're intriguing. I mean, the texture and the materials you use are so diverse and kind of random. The color that comes together, or not, in the case of the monochrome one that you did, just really eye-catching. So let's talk through your designs. Can we start with this one right here?
Yes, so this is our big chandelier. So
this makes me happy.
This is kind of fun. This I'm intending to use for like a party, like to put over the food table or something like that, and we will kind of use this as our centerpiece, if you will, but hanging centerpiece.
Right.
So we've used a metal hoop, and then just like we've added paper straws. That's kind of the big key to this, is lots of paper straws.
And straws these days come in so many different patterns and colors.
I sort of have an addiction to paper straws.
I'm with you, totally.
I don't even have a purpose for them most of the time.
You're like, I just have a closet of straws.
So
Anybody else? Anybody?
Yes, they're so cute. And then lots of tissue paper, and then of course I had to add some pom-poms because that's kind of my favorite thing.
That's your signature touch.
So
I'm seeing beads on there too.
Oh yes, there's colorful beads. This is a great way to use up your craft stash. If you're a craft hoarder, like I am, you probably have everything you need to make this at home. And I don't know if I should be embarrassed or like...
No, own it.
I had almost everything I needed to make this other than the hoop. I had everything at home. I should probably be embarrassed.
As I'm reviewing, no, you just own it. As I'm reviewing in my mind my own craft stash, you know what I'm hesitant to suggest though for this project is ribbon, because something about the tassel gives kind of more shape to it than a drippy, droopy ribbon.
And that's true, but if you look at the black and white one, we actually, this is ribbon.
Oh, is it?
So I just used some ribbon, tied little bits of ribbon onto the sides, and you can kind of see that. And this is just a ribbon tassel at the very bottom.
So there's a place then
So there
for
is a place for ribbon. And one of my cute friends suggested also, she said you could even take some ribbon, like some thicker ribbon, kind of zigzag it, fold it, and use that instead of like the tissue paper flowers in the middle.
Okay.
So it can kind of become your flower, if you will.
I guess I like the form that this project is taking. I mean, you add too many ribbons, too many drips and droops, it becomes almost a dream catcher.
That's true.
But these feel unique. They feel different in shape. What about this guy?
They are. So this one, again, just paper straws,
I feel
lots
like it
of
should be a
tissue
girl,
paper.
actually.
This is kind of a
What
girly
about this
one.
girl?
This is a girl. The girly colors. But again, just lots of tissue paper, paper straws. I used even some pearls on this one, some unfinished wooden beads, a tassel, and a few pom-poms. So this one's a little bit simple. I didn't do quite as much on this one as I did with like our giant.
Yes.
Our giant one.
So here it's staged over your partyscape.
Yes.
Could this also act as home decor?
It could. So I'm actually thinking I want to put this in my little girl's room, maybe over their dresser with a few, you know, you can put your books and your little pictures and have it kind of centered over their dresser. Thought that might be kind of a fun place to put it.
I love this concept. So really, you mentioned the craft stash. Hit the craft stash that you have, you've been hoarding and hanging on to. Pull out the materials. As far as the actual hoop, the actual form, what do we need and where do we get those?
So craft stores will have these. So this is actually your cheapest solution.
Okay.
So this is just an embroidery hoop. Yeah. And the nice thing about these is these are like less than $2. And you can use two.
There it is.
Because you've got the inside part. So that's what I used for that. But you can also, if you just want to cover up the screw part with like a pom-pom right here, no one would even know that it was the outside part.
Just wrap it up.
Exactly.
Where do you even start though? What's like step one?
So step one is, and I found that the easiest way to do this is to get all of your materials kind of prepped all at once because it helps with the time. But
I think visually that would help too, to kind of know
really
where you're going.
does.
Do you map it out in advance?
I don't. I just kind of went for it.
I'd have to map it out in advance.
Well, as you're going, you kind of start to see.
I
have changed things a little bit here and there.
Okay.
But the first thing you really need is string, and you can use lots of different kinds of string. I used this like super thin gold thread for the peach and green one.
Yeah.
You can use something like this that's a little thicker. The only problem with that is it's tricky to get the needle through.
So thin is better for this
thinner
starting
is a little better,
strand.
like just kind of an embroidery thread with like that, or floss, embroidery floss is
But you can
great
have some
too.
fun with it, the metallics, the sparkle,
you can
the
use
color.
pretty much anything as long as it fits through your needle.
Okay.
So you need to measure these pretty long. For the smaller size, I measured about 60 inches. And obviously, if you're going bigger, you're going to need a little bit more. So I think I did about 90 inches for the big one.
And help me see where you're at. Is this string this?
No, that's just for hanging. So it is actually from like this point.
Oh, just right here.
Just a little bit at the top.
Yeah.
So you're going to use up like all of that string just making the chandelier. So there's a lot of string that goes into this.
Okay.
So you're going to double it up. So you only cut however many strands you kind of want to have, like how many sections you want at the top. So for this one I did 6, and so I would cut just 6 strands.
So hold on, we have to hold this up, because so you've got multiple coming through, and these will all split up and divide as you start to thread.
So at the top half is a little lighter. You have only 6 sections, but coming down off the center section, or off of the bottom half, you're gonna actually have like 12.
Let's thread, girl. How do we do this?
Okay, so you're gonna thread 2 strings at a time. That's kind of the important. And then you are just going to start here. I'm gonna let you do
You trust me with this?
Yeah, you cannot mess this up. I promise you. You cannot.
You don't know how many times those words have been spoken here on the show and have been proven wrong.
You can do this. You're gonna cut up your strings, or cut up your straws. But you can just go ahead and start going. You can measure your straw however long.
Like what?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
This is perfect.
Okay.
See, now we have we're starting with the straw. If
we're
you
tangled.
want,
No, we're not.
Okay, there we go. And then you can also add. So I used a paper punch. I used like a 1.5 inch punch to make some of these tiny little flowers. I got this super cute tissue paper from Target a long time ago, because this was in my stash.
Right.
You can put a bunch of these together and kind of string those on.
Like so?
Yes.
Okay.
And even a little thing I've been doing with some of the flowers too is kind of crinkling as you go along to kind of give it some dimension.
Movement, texture.
So, and then, and there's beads. If you want some beads, you can take some beads too.
Because you've got to put a pattern
on.
Here. There's something about the pattern, I think, that makes it so visually.
And you can do varying strands at the top section. So you could have one with, that's okay. See?
You cursed me.
Did. Oh man, I did. I jinxed it. I totally jinxed it. But that's okay.
Okay, if we are stacking beads, what prevents them from doing that and sliding
so when
through?
you get to the end, here, let's show you. When I get to the end of each section, I use a little bit of washi tape. Now, if you are doing a heavy, if you're doing really heavy, you want to do a lot of beads, you might want to use a binder clip to kind of hold it, because washi tape might be a little too small. But you just want to put a little washi tape here, and it'll kind of...
Now she tells me. Okay, so we get all of our strands going, and then how do we connect them with the bottom?
So this is an example of one that has been done, and I didn't do any beads on this, just the flowers.
Because you didn't want your beads to fall off on TV.
I did not. You're right. I did not.
Okay.
So once this is all connected, you're just going to lay out your hoop, and some people like to even hang this. I think you could hang this part and then try to put them on, but because these are all paper, they really can be, they're not gonna break.
So you just tie it off.
So I just kind of stick it on, stick it in the center, and then kind of spread it out over the hoop. And
then repeat that pattern if you want a tiered effect.
Yes. And so you're gonna, so you separate at this point. You're gonna separate out, and then you can come back into the center if you want to.
I love this.
You don't even have to.
The Polish chandelier, so many fun possibilities. That's a lot of P's, and a great way, like you said, to use up your craft supply. And hey, we're celebrating a new website for you.
I have a new website. I'm going to have a tutorial for our payonkis on there. It's apricotpolkadot.com.
Okay.
And I'm also going to be at the Salt and Honey Market the first week of December at the Gateway. So
we'll look for you there.
It'll be fun to be there.
Thank you for sharing this idea.
Thank you.
Really fun.